세상이신 모자 누굴까 되냐노소 어머니의 위한 아까이니 내밀었소 내 맘을 믿고 이 모자로 아직이 하나님이라 언약이가 내오지니 세상이신 모자 누구가 되냐노소 어머니 위한 사감이니 내밀었소 Getsemenina Cristo aoyerashasi Viase bonini naye adesoa nitiso Arirehushe na komaso na okase Sebetumia makuei nchemiho Oponisue nimonyambe simane Opreniwase kosiase nianu Achichieni oyamu osinebu dinikratuho seyadasa benyakwa.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is yet another day, a new day, a bright Sunday, a day that the Lord has made, that we should all be glad and rejoice in it. You don't like this day, which other day would you prefer? It is another episode of From the Beginning, life experience. Where did life begin from? The life began from, it could be anywhere, but today we have a new person, a brother, a gentleman, a husband, and a dad to this program. His life experience will help shape another person's life, someone who is stuck up there, who doesn't know what to do. Today's episode of From the Beginning will direct the person to the right path. This afternoon, I have with me my own brother, Brother Obed Frempong. Brother Obed, you're welcome to Richmond Media this afternoon.
Thank you so much, Madam Hannah.
You're welcome. Someone is saying this afternoon is not bright. How is it over there? Is it bright or not?
I think it's bright here in Ghana and in my community and in my house as well.
We thank God for that, for giving us this opportunity. Once again, I welcome you to Richmond Media.
Thank you.
We don't know who you are. I might know just a tiny bit of you. I don't know much. Would you please tell us who you are?
All right. Thank you and good evening to your listeners and to everyone. And thank you for having me.
Thank you
First
so
of
much.
all, my name is Frempong Omane Obed, who is from a small village in the eastern region called Akim Bomso. But I was raised up from a community also around Akim Oda, which is called Akim Esubua. That is where I had my basic and junior high school program. But currently, I'm residing in Accra, where I'm working currently. So that is a bit about Frempong and Obed.
Okay. One Mr. Obed started from Achim Bomso.
Let's say
Uh,
Achim Esubua. Let's make it Achim Esubua.
Achim Asubua.
Yes,
Okay. From Achim Bomso to Achim Asubua, which you are originated from.
sure.
Yes. How did life begin, please?
Okay, so I think I'll give a brief background about my basic education where there was a life-changing cycle in my life. So as I mentioned, Akime Subua was a beautiful experience, but I knew earlier that education was my ticket to better future. So I wasn't really joking with my studies. But living in a Subua, the lack of resources and opportunities in the village made it a bit challenging. But my family always encouraged me to pursue my dreams. So I had my basic, my junior education all in Akim Esubua, a school called Esubua Presby Primary. That is where I had my primary, and then I further on to uh, Akim Esubua LA Local Authority. That is where I had my junior secondary school. And I continued to St. Francis Secondary Technical, where I received my education, my secondary school education. I pursued general arts as a course. However, in all my life, I had a dream of becoming a politician. So, whatever I was doing, in fact, I was a bit engaging. When it comes to activities in school, you see me there. When it comes to any activity, being sports, being education program, being any program that we are having, you will see Frempong or Mane Obed there, because I had a dream of leading people and becoming one day a known politician. So it didn't end there. After my secondary school education, I made a move, which I moved from my village, that is Akime Subua, to Tema, a suburb of Tema called Ashaiman. I think most of us know Ashaiman and how living in there looks like. So moving to Ashaiman was a big step for me because I was inspired by the desire to find better opportunities and create a better life for myself and my family. However, the city presented its own set of challenges. And as you know, a young boy who has moved from his comfortable zone to an unknown area an unknown terrain, because as I traveled, I had no family member in Tema or in assignment where I moved to. But I had I have a dream that definitely I have to make it and then support my family as well. So that is a very small background that I'll say.
So moving from Chim Esubua to no man's land, that I will call it, because you didn't know anyone there.
Sure.
How did you survive?
That was a very tough experience for me, and it was an enjoying moment as well. Surviving there was by God's grace, because as I mentioned earlier, living in an area where you had no family member, nobody is nurturing you there. It's all relies on the education, the advice I received from my parents in my basic career. That is what motivated me. In fact, that is what kept me moving and living in assignment. We all know how assignment pressure is and how assignment system is. Only the strongest survive. So I had no one. So one day I met one guy. We were having a discussion, and then he mentioned that he's from Bieni. That is also another community around Achim Esubua. So we
What
became
is the
friends.
name, please?
Bieni.
Bieli, okay.
Yes, Achim Bieni. So we became friends, and then we started talking. So I asked him, where are you staying? And he showed me his place. So I said, for me, I don't have anywhere to stay. So if, as a friend, if you can accept me, and then we will stay together. He accepted it, and the wonderful thing is, when we got to his place, it was a game center. It was a game center where he was also sleeping, because he used to work in that game center. I said, okay, we'll all manage. So in the morning, we will go to the shower. We had no washroom for ourselves. It was the public shower that we're all depending on. So we'll go to the shower, take our shower, dress up, and then we'll be operating the game center. So I was once a game center operator. So I was in that work for about a year or so, and then I said no, this place it won't help me, because as we all know, working in the game center was full of trouble guys. Today problem fighting almost every day in the game center, and I wasn't really pleased with that. So I once met another guy who said he's a driver. So once he's a driver, I said, okay, then I can be your mate. Let me call it that way, or let me put it, say, a bus conductor, that your viewers and listeners will really understand. So I started with a bus conductor in assignment in the year 2011 12. 2011 12. That is where I started with a bus conductor, and it was moving. We were working. We used to sleep in the car after work. I'll sleep in the car. I'll wake up in the morning. I'll still continue with my work. You close, you clean the car, you keep the place neat, and then you sleep in the car as well. So I had all my clothing and all my almost everything at the boot of the car. So whenever I want to change, I'll just open the boot, get my things, and then go to the shower, the public shower as I mentioned, and then life was moving on. But what
Like,
what
are you?
became a turn? Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Speak on, please.
Okay, so what became a turning point for me is I'm an Adventist. So one day I went to church, and what happened in church was all the tertiary students were asked to stand up so that we'll give them a hand of applause or welcome them because uh, they all went to school for about 3 months and they came back. So the church welcomed them. I said, wow, I have been here for about a year and more.
You have
Nobody,
not been welcomed.
nobody has even recognized I'm with them. And for them going and then coming and then said, let's welcome our children who are in the universities, various universities, and then in fact, it's it added something on my mind. It gave me something to think about. I said, oh, then I need to make a move because I cannot be here. How long will I be a bus conductor? And how would that encourage me or how would that help me to achieve my aim and my goals in life? So one day I overheard some university students talking about distance learning program. I was just standing behind them. So I kept quiet and listened. And that conversation really spunked something within me. I said, okay, fine. If I don't have the opportunity to study fully in the university or in a classroom, I'll also go in for the distance education. So that very year, 2015, I applied for a distance learning in the University of Cape Coast. It was an education program. So I applied, and by God's grace, I had the opportunity to study a 3-year program, diploma in educational psychology. So, uh, being a bus conductor or a mate, combining it with education, learning during the weekends. In fact, the distance was always on the weekends. Almost every 2 weeks of a weekend, you meet face to face, but the rest lies on you. You have to be learning, doing all your research, all learning activities on your own. So I applied to this program and worked timelessly in the evening after my day job because the dream of a better future kept me going. And that is where I think it started from.
Thank you, brother Obed, Mr. Omane Frempong. Your case is very inspiring because you know what, in Ghana, when you see the bus conductors, even the shouting itself, or don't call carnage, dance man, yeah, dance man, all those things, Abuakwa Kumasi, Abuakwa Achim. At the end of the day, your voice alone, but
Eh,
the
eh,
Lord kept you. And even the way that you guys, were hanging at the entrance, but the Lord kept you safely so that your life will be a testimony to others. Whoever is watching us, you know what? We haven't finished the program, but the program is very, very touching. It doesn't matter where you are, what you are doing. You can
exactly,
start from today.
exactly.
Brother Obed, the program is really, really, really touching my heart. And you have really done well because from a driver's mate, that we will call it back
Yeah,
home,
sure.
to a university graduate. I really, really respect you and I
Thank you.
appreciate you with the vision that God gave you. Without
Thank
you
you.
holding on to it, it wouldn't have come to pass. At the moment, I would like us to acknowledge our viewers. Akon George says, good afternoon, watching you live from Ghana in the Volta region. Sister Josephine Adebi, which is the wife of Brother Akon, says, good afternoon to Richmond Media. Sister Hannah, God bless you for your good work by always getting people to inspire us. Thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs., for spending your time with us. Whoever is watching us, please, if you pop in a comment, we'll be able to acknowledge you. The further you are spending your time with us, we do appreciate you a lot. If you are watching us this afternoon, please, the program is very, very, very inspiring. Call a friend to come and listen to a life-changing journey that has brought Brother Obed from Achim Bomso, Achim Esubua to Tema Ashaman, and then finally to a university from driver's mate, bus conductor, whichever way that you put it,
Yeah.
a university graduate. Sister Agnes Chocho, I think I'm pronouncing it well. Sister Agnes Chocho says, "Good afternoon, dear, watching you live from Ghana, Accra." Thank you so much, Sister Agnes, for watching us. We really appreciate you. Keep watching us and call friends and family to come along with us. Is that your wife?
That's my wife.
Okay, then I guess right, Mrs. Frempong. You are welcome on board. Please call your family members and friends to join us. And you have Obrimpong as well. Do you have
Sure.
Obrimpong? Yeah. So
Yes, I have.
Obrimpong, I have Obrimpong, you have Obrimpong. So together, the two Obrimpongs come and support us this afternoon. Brother Obed, your life is really inspiring message to myself and to everyone who wants to embark on any education. It looks
Sure.
like I'm talking, but it's really touching my heart. So, graduating from the university, do you think you have been able to achieve your set target in life?
I would say not yet. However, I think I'm on the right course because one thing I also say is I never stopped doing the bus conducting, even whilst I was still studying.
Wow.
And in Ghana, after your education, you need to serve for a year that we all call let's national service.
Yeah.
So you
To
need to
serve the
serve the
nation.
government for 1 year, and then you find your way wherever you want. So after my diploma education,
Yeah.
I was posted to Ghana Water Company Limited to offer my national service, as we all know, to the nation. So in Ghana Water, something that happened in Ghana Water during my national services, something that motivated me a lot. When I went there, the first day I entered the office, I went to the HR, introduced myself. In fact, we were a number of them. That day, I think we were about 17 people who went to register for a national service or to report to the institution where we were posted to. The first thing they told us, or the first information they gave us, is the place is full. So what the chief manager HR human resource was doing is he takes your form and he writes on it, go for reposting. He takes your form and he will endorse on it, go for reposting. I was the last person to enter his office. And when I entered, he took my form. He was writing, go for reposting, but I don't know what happened. He approved my form.
Amen.
So what he told me was, you are the last person we have approved for you to undertake your national service in 2018 in Ghana Water. And I was like, wow, thank God. And during my national service, I would say I worked. In fact, I knew I had no background relating to the utility because Ghana Water Company services. I would say 70% or 80% engineers, because It's chemical engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, and other staffs. You will see few finance people, HR, and social people like myself. So during my service, alongside, I was in fact, I will say I worked. That is what motivated me. I worked during my national service. So at the end of our national service, at the last month in your service, you have to embark on a leave, which will exit you from the institution where you are for you to go and find your way out. So in the last month of my national service, I had the opportunity to be interviewed and to see if management will maintain me in Ghana Water or not. And woe behold, by God's grace, I was maintained in Ghana Water to work with them. And the department I was working on was low income customer support. Then it was a unit in Ghana Water, but currently it's a fully fledged department in Ghana Water. So that is how it started. And I will say to all the listeners out there, I want to say this: never lose hope. In fact, if I had lost hope, I wouldn't be here because I had the dream of helping my people. In fact, helping my community members, helping my friends, helping anyone around me. Because, as I mentioned earlier, I wanted to become a politician, and you need to be sociable. You need to help others so that your idea of becoming a leader will be a success for you. So life may throw challenges your way, but remember that every obstacle is an opportunity for your growth. Because I engaged, or I had a lot of challenges, even in my national service, in my education, in my working life. But with determination and gratitude, trust me, you can overcome any adversity and achieve your dream.
The topic for today, for this afternoon, is from adversity to gratitude.
I think
Brother,
I can hardly hear you.
oh, really? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, please?
Yes, please, I can hear you now. I
Oh,
can hear you.
okay. I said the topic for today is from adversity to gratitude. That
Sure.
is what we are talking about. Life experience. Brother Obed is sharing his life experience with us. Brother George Usubequin has pop up something there. Let's see what he said. Very inspirational. God bless you, brother. Indeed, it is really the message is so touching. We've not finished, but I'm really, you know what? If there is a fire here or a burner, I would say it is melting me down. You mentioned people that university graduates that were talking about online program, distance learning, which motivated you
Yes.
to get to this far. Who else has been your inspiration and a motivator in life?
Okay, first of all, I'll say my parents. I knew I wasn't coming from a rich family, a poor family, I'll say, but they never gave up on us. They tried all their best to support us, to assist us, and to help us achieve our goals and aims in life. So I'll say first of all, it's my parents, and then some other few people I met in the period of 2015, 16, 17, 18. Because some friends, as I mentioned, assignment life is a bit challenging. Even living in assignment alone tells you life it's not gonna be easy for you.
Is it a ghetto life? We will put it.
It's a ghetto.
Or
It's a ghetto life. I'll put it. it's a ghetto life, I'll put it, because you never wake up with a peace of mind. No, especially when you are sleeping in a game center or even in your trotro car. You always wake up with something in your mind that no, you need to move on. So that motivated me. I had a friend who is Richard. He was a game center owner. He had opened a game center then. So I'll call him a businessman. In fact, he really motivated me. He told me that, Obed, once you are working with me, I know you are not going to work with me forever, because you have that zeal to further your education. So try as much as possible to move on. Don't stay here with me. And I think it's really helped me. That day I was very moved, because someone you are working for who will boldly to tell you that you don't deserve here. You need to move up in life. I think it gave me my inspiration. And from there, working with my boss, who is Mrs. Faustina Boache, who is the chief manager for Ghana Water Company Limited, Low Income Customer Support Department. She is also my motivator. She won't give up on you, and she will make sure you are doing the right thing. So I'll say these few people really motivated me for me to still keep up in life.
Thank you so much, Brother Obed. So that means during the pandemic, which is COVID-19 era, we're still in it in a way, still with us, it's not going anywhere. How did you feel? Did it change any pattern of your work at all?
I'll say yes, it did, because you know the department I'm working in Ghana Water, that I mentioned, that it's called Low Income Customer Support Department. Ghana Water is the sole responsible for supplying urban water. However, in the urban water, we have poor people living in the urban water. So my department is in charge of supplying water to the poor, the needy, the vulnerable in the urban communities. So we always do community engagement. In fact, that is our something that we are known of. We are always organizing community engagement programs. We are always following up on our customers. We are always in the community undertaking a project for registration, for receiving payments, and a whole lot of programs. In fact, we are always in touch with our customers. So when it happens like that, we needed to halt all our community engagement programs. So it became it was a challenge for us. However, it also gave us the opportunity to also try other methods and other ways to see how we can still achieve our objectives, but in a different way.
Thank you so much for this step by step into your own life, your life experience, which you're sharing it with others to also know in case they are stuck up there, they will know a way forward in life from adversity to gratitude. What has been your biggest challenge and joy for working in Ghana as LICSD?
Yes. Okay. My biggest challenge, I'll say something happened in 2022 October. I will say it was at my point where I felt that you don't need to give up. I don't want to go into the details of what happened in 2022, 22 October in my working life.
That's okay
But
with us. Yeah.
but it was like I don't know whether it was a plot for someone to get rid of me from Ghana Water or something. There was a huge problem. Somebody drafted an email. I won't say a good email, an unpleasant email to my managing director, deputy managing director, with my details, with full of insults, I'll say, which I had no information about. So my manager, my boss called me one Sabbath. It was Saturday. Obed, have you sent something to MD? I said no. Ah, Obed, are you sure? I said no. I said okay. She called again. Obed, are you sure you've not sent anything to managing director? I said, Madam, no. He says MD want to talk to you. So it was a Saturday. We waited on the Monday. It was we were having a program in Kumasi, so we were all in Kumasi. After the program, our manager called me. Managing director called me. Obed, you sent me an email. In fact, I didn't even know it was an email or a text or whatever. So I'm even shivering. He called me and said, "Ah, Obed, you sent me an email." I said, "No." So he opened his email and said, "Are you not Frempong, Obed?" I said, "I'm Frempong, Obed." And is this number not your number? And I said, "Yes, that's my number." And when I saw the subject of the email, I started crying because the subject was bad. However, my managing director called one other chief manager, who is chief manager Botibedu. He called him and he said, "This is why." He said, "No, it is not Obed. The Obed I know will not do this." And in fact, that is where I realized whatever you are doing in your workplace or wherever you find yourself, don't ever think someone is not watching. Someone is really watching every step that you are taking, your actions, your attitude, everything. So that was the point I realized, oh, so all what I have been doing in the office, someone is monitoring me. So he said, MD, I trust it is not Obed Frempong who did this. So our MD called for an investigation. And since I had nothing to do with it, in fact, I was free. It wasn't easy for me though, up and down with national security, all stuff. But I was set free because I had nothing to do with that. In fact, that has been a big challenge for me in my working environment. However, something that always keeps me going is I have the passion to help people, and the department I found myself in has that mandate to always support the needy and the disabled, the poor, for them to also have access to safe drinking water. So that has always been my motivation, that I still need to give back to the community. I still need to help people, for people to also have a free life or a pleasant life as well.
Thank you so much, Brother Obed. Indeed, from adversity to gratitude. What are some of your accomplishments as LIC SD officer?
For my accomplishment, I think it's always a joy for me for people to be happy, because whenever I see people suffering, in fact, I become down. I become sad, because we all should enjoy life. We all should, at least, if not 100%, we all should have a good life. But I'll say one of my accomplishments that I can always talk about is my educational achievement, because I didn't give up when I knew I don't have the opportunity to pursue full course in the university, or let me say a full face-to-face learning. However, I opted in for a distance education, and I never give up on it until after my diploma. I still continue to get my bachelor's degree still through distance education. So it has always been my accomplishment. That is my educational achievement. And then graduating also from the university was also a happy one, because after going through all these studies through distance, almost every weekend you are busy learning, and after the face to face, you need to also go back, do your own studies, because you have been given the pamphlet, or let me say the course, to study on your own, and you are doing that alongside working. So it wasn't easy. However, God kept us moving. So that has been my accomplishment that I can talk about.
Thank you, Brother Obed. So, you've been talking about LICSD. Who is LICSD officer at all?
Okay, so I'll say, as I mentioned earlier, LICSD is a department in Ghana Water who is solely for helping poor communities. So we have uh, low income urban communities
Okay.
that we
Not
are in charge
rural.
of.
Okay.
So we make sure they have access to potable drinking water. So what we do is we write proposals for funding. In the normal Ghana Water Company Limited, if you need our services, you need to come to our office. You need to come and register, fill a new service form. After you fill the form, an estimator will go to your premises, do the measurement for you, do the estimate for you, and then we'll give you an estimate to pay, or the money that you need to pay for your service. However, we realize that most people are unable to pay for the new service connection fee. So then what can we do? So that is where the low income customer support department comes in. We write for proposal for funding, and then we subsidize connection for these people. So we have a lot of programs, subsidy programs that we are always running. At times we give 70% subsidy. At times we give 100% subsidy, depending on the cases. So as a low income customer support department officer, you make sure you are always in line with what you are mandated to do. Uh, Organizing community engagement programs, making sure customers that you have connected are paying their bills. So you need to do follow up on these people. These people used to be buying water in buckets from a vendor. That is what they are used to. And the moment you connect them and they have to pay it at the end of the month, at times it becomes a challenge. So you always need to follow up on them, educate them on how to pay their bills promptly so that they will not be disconnected with the service. So I'll say that is what the low income customer support department always do.
Thank you so much. If someone is watching you this afternoon or listening to you from wherever they are and wants to become like you, fine. Maybe the subjects that you read at the university were not pointing towards Ghana water, but now you are in Ghana water. What would you recommend, or what kind of course or training would you recommend for someone who doesn't know how to get their way through to your stage in life?
Okay, so I'll say that is a good point, because what I studied in the university had no relationship or link with Ghana Water. However, the department I was posted to, because of community engagement and because I did psychology, I did educational psychology, it's really helped me in dealing with them, understanding their issues, and then trying to find ways to solve those issues. So I'll say it was, I don't know whether it was a miracle or whatever I'll call it, because I'm not an engineer, but with my educational background, with my psychology background, I'm able to coordinate, understand people, because we all have our traits. We all can't be equal. What someone will say to you that you will be happy to receive that message, you say that same thing to someone, and the person will say it in the other way. So it is left for us to understand each and every one, and then know how we can deal with all these people, and for all of us to achieve our aim. So I think it is really not a point of what you are studying, but you need to be focused, because you don't give up. Because if I had given up with my educational psychology, I wouldn't be in Ghana Water. But I didn't give up. However, I have also been pursuing other courses that will help me adapt to my current working environment. So it is also something we can all learn from. The fact that you find yourself wherever you find yourself, you need to know their criteria. You need to know their requirements, and then you work towards achieving that requirement, and that is what you do, and for you to be maintained, or that will sustain you in your working environment.
Thank you so much, Brother Obed. I know you have a family and at the same time working. How do you combine family life with your profession?
I think it's an understanding. I will say it's both of you understanding each other, because my department, we are always moving from a community to a community. So at times we even leave our comfort zones. You have to go to Upper East, you have to go to Upper West, to the Volta region. In fact, we are always around somewhere. But you also need to have a work balance. It shouldn't always be work, work, work. There should be a balance with your personal life and work. So I would say it should be 50-50. You shouldn't solely put all your attention with the office work. Since you have a family, you should also, it should be a shared responsibility. And then once both of you understand the situations, you all challenges here and there. But with God, you are not going to give up. You always push on to be able to achieve your set target.
Thank you so much. There is a question that I would like to ask. I don't know if it's out of context, but I will, because I know you've been setting up some NGOs and other stuff to help this community. They are part of what you are doing. Have you been able to help Achim Pomso and Achim Asubua uh, in this way if it's needed?
Okay, so currently, I would say not yet. And the reason being, at times, where you are also determines some decisions taken in the office, and we all know. So it's something on my mind. Putting up a proposal for funding for my community to also have access to piped water, because I can say with a population of over 2,000 people, we don't have piped water in our community. We always depend on boreholes and mechanized boreholes. All right, it is my dream one day that I will be able to put up a proposal for funding for Ghana Water to be able to extend services to my community, for my community to also have access to potable drinking water.
Thank you, because that will make Achem Asubwa and Achem Bomso to know that indeed their products has germinated a good seed.
I'll say something we always say, it's in the pipeline.
Thank you so much. So, as we come into the end of the program, what has been your greatest or your strategic way to this point? Have you got any secret to it that people can learn from what you have been able to get through to?
Okay, so I'll say my secret is my knees, my prayer. You always need to pray, because life will not be easy. Life will not give you a smooth course to go. And one thing I'll also mention, that you need to be focused. You need to be focused. You don't need to have a whole lot of challenging minds. Be focused that this is what I want to do. Have some targets. I remember one of our courses, we were asked to go out and make some service. We were asking people that in the next 5 years, what will you want to become? And wonderfully, someone said, I just want Manchester United to win APL. And that was his target. And someone also mentioned that once I sleep and I wake up, that's all I know. That's all what I know. If I if I don't wake up again, there is nothing I can do. But what I'll say is, you should have set targets. You should have set goals, and pray, be humble, be focused, and with the help of God, you'll make it.
Thank you, brother Obed. Frempong Omane Obed. It is a great joy to have you on this platform, from adversity to gratitude. Indeed, your story, your life experience that you have given us has indicated what the topic is about. And if you continue to be on your knees, whoever you are, God will attend to you in times of adversity, so that you show gratitude to Him and the people around you. Brother Obed has given us what has made him now who he is at the moment, from Achim Bomso, from Achim Asubua Primary to Achim Bomso LA, JSS, from Achim Bomso to St. Francis Sectech to do general arts. From there, his dream is to become a politician. I don't know if he is an NPP man, if he would like to be Alanites or NPP. I don't know. Or he want to be the Bawus BMW, or he want to be others. And if he wants to be an NDC, if he wants to be JM or whoever, or whoever will be in the pipeline in the near future. But for now, we have Alanites on this platform, and we have some Kansas City. I think I'll be attacked at the back door. and all the
Sure.
other ones. But for now, I don't know if it's Jiwutu or what. So if it's Jiwutu, I give you the two. So together we will win. Otherwise, if it's any other of the candidates that you are aiming to be like them, may the good Lord continue to help you as He has taken you through to this far. From bus conductor, truck show mate, to a university graduate. It is so amazing. Brother, may the good Lord continue to guide you, to take you to wherever you wanted to be. It is hard to see the Adventists within the political zone. But if Zambia has been able to provide an Adventist as a president, I'm sure the Lord will take you through to wherever you want to be. So until the same time again, dear friends and family, whoever is watching us, it has been a fruitful day. Until then, the same time next week from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock is from the beginning. And my name is Hannah Bimah. Thank you for watching us this afternoon from Richmond Media.
Okay. Can I say my last words?
Yes, please. Come on before we go.
Thank you so much for having me, and it's been a pleasure sharing my story with all of you. And I hope it inspires others to never give up on their dreams. And greetings to my parents, Maxwell Daniel Frempong, MD Daniel Frempong, and then Helena Esiedia. My greetings to them and to everyone who is listening. I say God bless you and God be with us all.
And to Nacho, may the
Yes,
love continue to grow.
to Agnes Socho and Obrempong, and to the XD team in Ghana Water.
So until the same time again, we say have a good evening and a
Hey,
fruitful
thank you.
Sunday. Have a blessed week and meet you again on this same platform, Richmond Media, from the beginning next Sunday. It is bye-bye for now.
Bye.